We are live.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. I am back with more interviews for the CRVT Facebook page. My name is Sarah Blow, and today I will be joined by Peter Gould. Peter Gould is the founder of Get Thee to the Funnery, a youth Shakespeare camp that's done in the summer.
And in Vermont.
In Vermont, yes. And we will be talking about that and also about his upcoming film that will be premiered tonight at 7 o'clock on the Vermont Humanities YouTube. So, hi, Peter. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Pleasure. Here I am. Ask away.
So, just describe the camp that you run in the summer in Vermont, Get Thee to the Funnery. How did it come to be, and just give us a little information about it?
Okay, so 23 years ago, I was doing some workshops in some schools in the extreme Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, and it really came clear to me that there was so many students who had an artistic bent, but there was like nothing happening for them in the summer at all. This was way back then, and so the music teacher at Craftsbury Academy and I started this the Shakespeare program, which grew very soon into a camp, a 2-week camp, and it's so cool because it grew from like 12 people the first year to 15 to 20 to 30 to 35 to 40. Now we have about 35 students who come, and they're all people that sometimes in their own high school they feel alone, or they feel like nobody appreciates them because they're sort of different. They travel to a different drummer beat, but then they come to the Shakespeare camp, and it's like a love fest. It's just it's called Hug Camp. It's called 12 Days to a More Powerful You, and it's just awesome. We have some people that have. I mean, we don't hold auditions, so it's not a theater camp where you have to audition for a role. You get there, we say, okay, this year we're doing the Midsummer Night's Dream. We're going to spend 3 or 4 days just reading it. We're going to talk about issues of teens, and then anything that resonates with you that we're reading about that you want to talk about, we'll do that too. And so that all happens. And our motto is the sign of the four: heart, mind, body, voice. 4 signs: the heart, the mind, the body, and the voice. And we try to push our students, our campers, each day in all 4 areas. If I had had a camp like that when I was a kid, it would have made such a difference in my life. But I didn't, so now my goal is to make that difference in people's lives now. And its voice is really the most important thing, because I was a stutterer, and Shakespeare and also silent mime helped me to feel comfortable as a performer and to find my voice. And I want young people to find their voice and then go use it to organize and to work for social change and for justice and for inclusion and things like that. So the camp has a nefarious motive. It's not just Shakespeare. It's get your voice going and go out and change the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So what sparked your own personal interest in theater? You said you didn't have a camp like this when you were in school. So how did you get introduced to theater, and how did you become into it?
Well, I just knew that I was a person with a real artistic side. I had a lot of truth in me that wanted to come out. I didn't really have any way to do it because I hadn't yet taken singing lessons, and I was often bullied in school because I stuttered, because I was small, and because I was Jewish and things like that. And I had this stuff that wanted to come out, so I wanted to be a writer. That was the first thing, and then I realized that I better get some other skills going too if I ever wanted to make a living as an artist. So I studied with some really wonderful teachers of silent mime, physical comedy, physical theater, and began to do school assemblies as a mime, and gradually got comfortable on stage. I gradually acquired a performing partner, Stearns, so we were like Gould and Stearns, and we've done every single school in the state of Vermont, performed all over the world, performed at festivals. But when the United States got involved intervening in the civil wars in El Salvador and Nicaragua, I became a mime who could not keep silent. So I started to become a political organizer too, using my theater skills in organizing. And I wrote a play called A Fest of El Salvador, which Stephen and I went all over the world performing. And that got me out there, it got me organizing, it got me comfortable speaking in public. And then after that, the leap to starting a Shakespeare camp was easy.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. And on your website, you describe theater education as the antidote of everything. Can you expand on that a little bit?
You should have sent me, the questions first. I think that, when you consider that at the Shakespeare Cafe to the Funnery, we really do have this motto: heart, mind, body, voice, and we find that for some people who learn in a different way, who don't really want to go to school and read stuff, from a page, that learning through the ear and through the, through the body, particularly, we physicalize almost every lesson that we do in the camp, and we find that in 2 weeks, a group of 35 people, young people, can learn almost an entire Shakespeare play by heart, because they're so physical about it. And I can still recall when I was in high school in my AP English class, being told by my English teacher that I had to stand there and not move my hands at all, and then everything had to come out of my mouth. But when you do the kind of theater training that we do, it involves the whole body and the whole person, and your past and your present and your future and your voice and your lungs and your heart, and so it's the antidote to a lot of people these days. In my college teaching, I come across, when people write essays for me, there's a lot of people suffering from anxiety, from depression, and we find that we do the theater exercises that are so